However, I watched all these on Shudder, and Shudder is kind of like it's set up to be like TV almost, where after the movie's over, there might be some trailers for another movie they have on Shudder. Then like another movie just starts. And so the next movie was Hell House LLC, as in Limited Liability Corporation, and it was a found footage movie. And I actually thought it was decent. It these people from like New York City go to upstate New York to this town called Abaddon, and probably no relation to the Warhammer 40K character, but maybe. And they go up there to set up a haunted house in an abandoned hotel that has a history where there were some murders, some Satanism was being practiced, and we know from the beginning of the movie that they're all going to die, except for one of them. And so then we see the movie play out because we saw the end at the beginning from the perspective of people going in on the opening night of the haunted house. And then we see all the events leading up to it, all the it's found footage, so all the like creepy stuff happening in the background, the stuff they're confronting, and if you're the kind of person that can get into a found footage movie, this one is good. And then I was like, well, I know there's more of these, so over the next couple of days I watched parts 2 and 3. There is a definitive ending in 3, so there is just the 3 for now. 2 was a lot closer to a movie that happened to have found footage components, if that makes sense to anyone out there. Because there's definitely parts where like there's real special effects involved. They actually had a budget, and even though the way it's presented is still kind of found footagey, but it's like, well, I'm pretty sure that portal to hell there is CGI, but maybe not.
Well, and don't get me wrong, like I like found footage stuff, but trying to make it make sense why somebody's going to be recording every bit of it, like Cloverfield, as cool as it is as a found footage kind of thing. I'm sorry, but if you're being terrorized by a giant monster, I don't know that documenting out the entire
Yeah,
bit of it is going to be what you're going to do. Now, like his Blair Witch, perfect because they're out there doing a documentary.
yeah. Well,
It
parts of this are like the security cameras they have set up. Because for those of you who don't know how they run a haunted house, they do have security cameras to make sure that like
people
no
are
one's breaking the law, like actually fighting people or whatever in this side there. Make sure like women aren't being attacked or anything. So part of it's that, and then the other part of it is like a couple of the characters are documenting everything for various reasons, and like shit just keeps happening. And at a few points, they're like, "Hey, so we checked the tapes, and like, there's clearly some supernatural shit going on here, guys. Like, we need to leave." Like, "Oh no, it's fine. That's just someone playing a prank." It's like, no, it's
no.
not. It's clearly not.
Well, I just seen this person get picked up and thrown, 30 feet.
Well,
Well,
it wasn't that bad.
no, but
The one that was okay. Most of it could be explained by another person off camera doing something because it's literally like they see something creepy, they turn and talk to themselves among themselves, and they turn back, and whatever the creepy thing is has moved or is in a different position or something else. That could be someone off camera. The one that couldn't be is the guy that wakes up in the middle of the night and there's someone that looks like Reagan from The Exorcist in his room, and none of the members of the cast look like that. It's clearly a possessed woman. And then she attacks him, and he goes missing for 2 days and comes back and doesn't say a damn word for another day and a half. And it's like, if you guys would have checked his camera, I'm just saying, like, all the evidence you needed was right there to know that, like, it's time to leave and burn this place down on the way out.
yeah, well, that's just how people go. I mean, that's like, and this could be just my bad recollection, but when in Amityville Horror, didn't they know that there were a family was murdered there at some point?
I know for sure in the remake they did.
And then people are like, "Oh no, that's fine." I like,
Happens all the time.
and this is just me personally. Like, even though I know that there are properties that have terrible past and different things like that, and that there may not be something obviously wrong with it. But I would have a huge problem staying in a house where an entire family was murdered by
By one of the other family members,
yeah,
especially. Yeah.
yes, and not that I don't believe in some paranormal stuff, because I'm telling you, the first two houses I've always had uneasy feelings. Now All my ghost hunter watching shows would also tell me that that could also be bad wiring in the house because electric EMF fields can really mess
Yeah.
with your mind a little bit. And which is funny because my house here, again, 117 years old, has wiring from like the 30s or 40s in it. I've never had that feeling here.
It's plaster.
Blocks it out.
Yep. Just
Um,
keeping the poltergeist in the walls.
well, yeah, they say that running water, limestone, are all like natural conductors of like or a lot of things that you find when you find paranormal activity.
I've also heard that like something that you don't know is vibrating is, and it's emitting a low pitched noise that you can't consciously hear, but your brain still registers it and gives you that uneasy feeling.
Yeah, and and I'm gonna be upfront. I mean, I've seen stuff that I would consider paranormal, like doors opening and closing, full unlatching, opening, closing on their own, kind of stuff. And am I gonna go jump to it and say it was ghost? No, but paranormal doesn't always mean it has to be. It's paranormal means it's not normal.
Yeah,
It's out of the ordinary.
I've there was a house that I've for a long time I always felt uneasy if I was the only one in the house, and it eventually stopped. And I mentioned that to my cousin one time, and he even asked me like, "Is it this particular house?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about." And yeah, so
So, so I'm not here to prove or disprove um, any of that.
yeah,
To say that paranormal is real or not real, because I mean obviously there's things that are unexplained, and I know what I experienced on that. But good time to talk about it anyways, because
yeah.
spooky month.
So then the second movie is a film crew who's like, "Hey, all these people like of the people that died in the first movie, they never found several of their bodies." And then there's the fact that the person that did supposedly survive definitely didn't, but they've like got her on film afterwards. But then they also have her dying on film beforehand, and so they're like, "There's no way to explain this. Like, she literally can't be there. She's dead." And so yeah, so the second one is a film crew going in, and yeah, so they don't have the advantage of, hey, let's check the film because everything pretty much happens in real time to them. They've got a guy that goes in with them that's like, hey, like the first sign of bad shit, we got to bail, and he tries to, but it doesn't work. And that's where a rather interesting twist in the plot comes in. You find out that all this is because of the guy that used to own the hotel killed himself and probably killed some of the people there and had disciples and was doing all the stuff because he has crossed back over. So he's now back and is intentionally trying to lure more people into the house. He's the one that like this producer. The whole reason she wanted to do this because she got this letter with some stuff. Well, didn't have a return address. Like he sent it. So and he's talking about. And he even tells these people, "It's like, and what's going to happen to you here? Like that's going to get the next people lured in." It's like I'm already working on them. He's like, it's just to get more and more people here, more souls to send to hell. And it's just kind of like, well, shit. Now there's an original idea. The house isn't just haunted, but it's actively trying to draw more people in.
It's kind of like the House on Haunted Hill did that.
Kind of, yeah. And so yeah, then the third one is this like tech billionaire buys the house and is like going to open it up as something, but they've gone in like remodeled a bunch of stuff, and they've got like no one can go alone into all the areas, and then it gets weird at the end. It's some fight between good and evil to close the portal to hell, and you know I don't want to spoil all that, but the third one's pretty decent too. It definitely has like a wow, that's a bizarre ending, but it's got one.
Well, I say that actually all the talk about the found footage stuff actually leads in when we go into gaming. That I do actually have a game that I watched a YouTuber run through.
Night Trap.
No, but it's a found footage one.
All right.
A very interesting topic. So whenever you're done, I can switch over to that. And
But yeah, that's probably all I've got on the movie front. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, if you like found footage movies at all, the first one's definitely worth checking out. If you like it, go ahead and watch the other two. Parts of the third one are a little like, is that really where we're going with this? But that doesn't really kick into like the last 10 minutes of the movie. So and I'm not
yeah,
going to spoil it.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Geek Ball video, Echoes of a Whisper. This has been a clip from one of our podcasts. The link to the actual podcast this is from is in the description of the video if you want to see the entire thing, which we obviously encourage you to do. But otherwise, if you enjoyed what you saw, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscriptions and all the rest is definitely appreciated. Comments, as always. But just in general, thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. And check out the other videos we have here on the channel. See you later.